are the peace in my troubled sea. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore. Safe to shore.
All right, give me just a second, everyone. We'll get started. What is this? This is weird. Okay, so I'm not sure if I'm live or not, so give me just a second. Oh, all right, finally, Facebook is working. Wow. Sorry for the technical difficulties, Mouth Pagers. Wow, that's crazy. Whew, that took me 5 minutes to go live. Whew. Man, you would think that Facebook is a startup company. Worth over like, what, $24 million, and it takes 5 minutes to go live. Shame. All right. Hey, call like I see it, man. All right, what's up, Mary? What's up, Marty? What's up? Shalom. All right, Shalom, Mouth Pagers. Sorry I'm late. Having some issues with the internet again. Wow. Oh, man. I'm going to take another 5 minutes and go rant and raving. I'm just joking. Okay. Welcome, Mouth Pagers. I'm Shishi. Let's kick it off. Let's do a sound check. Testing. Whoa. All right. Let's do my little morphin, and we are set to go. What's up, Mouth Pagers? Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone's had a great week so far and a great day. Are you ready? Are you ready for the weekend? I know I am. It's almost the weekend. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Wow, it's just flying by. Which way did he go? Which way did who go? Didn't I do that last night? Come on, can't you guys write something new? This is getting old. I'm just joshing. That was fun, actually. That's funny. See, when you're enjoying life so much, things just go flying by. Which way did he go? All right, I better shape it up. I got everybody going here. Come on, wrap it up. Welcome, everyone. I am so pumped. I am so excited. It is today, which is Tuesday. Wow, it's Tuesday. That is awesome. All right, let's kick it off. We've been going live now for 81 weeks. 81 weeks. Wow, we're still not at 2 years yet. Wow. When we get to 2 years, it's going to be, you hear those sleigh bells ringing and jingling too. Oh, what a lovely weather. Or you can say, dreidel. It'll be holiday season by the time we hit our 2-year mark, and we're over 108,000 diehard Mouth Pages liking us and following us on Facebook. Wow. That is so wicked awesome. So thank you all so much. Let's do the Shema, the Declaration of Faith in one God, Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam V'ed. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Blessed be the name of his glorious kingdom forever and ever. And let's kick it off. Last night, we talked about call on God. That's last night's motivation. But tonight, we're going to talk about dealing with our enemies. Now, how many of us deal with our enemies? Now, let's think about that for a second. When we say our enemies, right away, when you first think of that, you're automatically probably just picturing a movie. And you're thinking, oh, you already know who your enemies are. In real life, do we know who our enemies are? Think about it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you who your enemies are because I don't know who they are. But think about it. Jealousy, envy. Are people jealous of you? Are they envy of you? Being in sales as long as I have, I don't have a lot of friends. I have a lot of pretend friends. And in the sales industry, it's like dog eat dog. It's wicked bad. So who are your enemies? Who are your enemies? Don't know. Don't know. But the Bible does. The Bible has so many verses. So we're going to kind of tackle a few of them, and I'm going to give it to you mouth page style of what that means. So let's get into our DeLorean, and let's go back to time, right? Back in the future, back to time, and let's go to Exodus 23:22. If you listen carefully to what he says and do all that I say, I will be an enemy to your enemies and will oppose those who oppose you. So what this is saying, if you listen carefully to what God is saying, I will protect you from your enemies. For those of them who don't follow me and who are against you, I will protect you. So, when you don't know who your enemies are, be careful what you tell someone. You should already know who you trust or who you don't. If you don't, then be careful what you say and listen. In the world that we are in today, they have, what is it called? Generation X, the baby boom, Generation Y, blah, blah, blah. Right now we're in Generation Yickety Yakkin Narcissism. We should be called like the Yickety Yakkin generation. Because all we want to do is talk about who we are ourselves. Me, I. There's a me in team and there's an I in team because that's all we want to talk about. That's the generation. We're the me-I team generation. That's the generation. So we've got to be careful with that. Because if you listen carefully to what God is saying, God will protect you against your enemies. Who are your enemies? Protect you from your enemies. Because when you turn your back on people, are they talking bad about you? Because if they're talking bad about you, they're talking bad about you to discredit you because they're jealous of you or they're envious of you. So you see when I mentioned that earlier and how I connected the dots together? See how that works? Because if you truly someone's friend or someone's family member or just a good person, you don't talk about that stuff. You don't do it. You don't do it. God will protect you. But so if those people do, God's going to protect them. That's how it works. You want God to protect you at all times. All right, let's continue. Let's find, we're going to jump up in our machine and go a little bit further up, and we're going to go to Leviticus 26:6. I will grant peace in the land, and you will lie down, and no one will make you afraid. I will remove wild beasts from the lands, and the sword will not pass through your country. So, I mean, you've got to really dissect what this means. But no, you really don't. I will grant you peace in the land, and you will lie down. So you're going to lie down in the land, and no one will make you afraid. God's going to say, I'm going to make you lie down, and I'm going to have all these buffalo come running through, and not one's going to touch you. If you trust in God. Now, of course, that's metaphorically speaking, because what God's saying is, if you trust me, follow me, if you lie down in the street, I won't let anybody touch you. But when I say metaphorically, that's the same thing. No one's going to harm you. You think they are. You're going to have the fear that they are. You're going to hear rumors that they are. But remember this, no matter how many people are against you, no one is more powerful than God. Nobody. I don't care what anybody says. Anybody says. And I'm going to make that factual. I don't care what anybody says. Because you look up at the clouds, no scientist did that. None. No news channel. All you got to do is go like this to their face. You see the makeup. You know they're full of baloney. So you know they didn't do it. So you look up at the clouds. There is no makeup. There's no facelift. There's no fakeness. It's the real deal. I trust in God. That's simple. Just do the math. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. You don't. You don't have to have someone telling you when to clap and when to applause and when to stand and when to sit, because that's called dictatorship. God's nothing like that. You look up at the clouds and you go, whoa, that's real deal, bud. That's real deal. That's it. You're done being brainwashed. It's you fixed yourself. We're done. You don't even have to watch this anymore. I just cured you for free, by the way. That's it. Brainwashing 101 is over. You're done. You're fixed. Because once you figure out that everything else is just fun entertainment. I love turning on the TV because I laugh and giggle. Nobody brainwashes this dude. Nobody. I bow to nobody but God. I was watching that the other day. Somebody was talking about bowing. And oh my gosh, how come this person didn't bow? This person didn't bow. And I'm like, you don't know Jews very well, do you? Jews bow to nobody but God. And nobody but God. Ask Mordecai and the Israelites during the book of Esther. You don't bow to anybody but God. Then once you figure that out, everything else is like hilarious. All right, let's keep going. Proverbs 24:17. Do not gloat when your enemy falls, when they stumble. Do not let your heart rejoice. Okay. When a lot of people are against you, or when they attack you, and all of a sudden you get out of the jam, God saves you, protects you, shields you from any of that stuff. When you pray to God the night before and you can't sleep and you're a mess and you're a wreck and you pray to God and you wake up and the next day and you're like, what in the world just happened? How did I get past this? How did I make it alive? How did I not get fired from this? How? How did I not have cancer? How did I not go to prison? Wow. How did I make it out? Because God did it. But don't gloat about it. Because God doesn't want you to gloat. When you gloat, you turn evil. When you gloat, you become exactly what we're talking about that you don't want to become. So be humble, walk away and go, man, God, that is awesome, brother or sister, depending on how you look at it. Say, wow, that is crazy cool. And then walk on and get on with your life and know that God is there. All right, let's move on to the next one. Deuteronomy 21. When you go to war against your enemies and see horses and chariots and armies greater than yours, do not be afraid of them, because the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, will be with you. Okay, so let me break that down. When you go to war against your enemies. Okay, so let's just say you're in sales. And you found out that someone stole a sale from you. So you want to go to your boss and you want to let your boss know what happened. But that person already discredited you, not only to your boss, but to 20 other people, including their bosses, and bosses. Because, you know, if you work for a big company, there's like 9 bosses that tell you that you need to get your TPS report in. I'm quoting a movie. If you don't know what it is, look it up. It's funny. But seriously, think about that. That's what your enemy has already done. They already went way ahead of you. But what God is saying, don't be afraid of all of that. Because with me, I will protect you. And with me, I brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. Now, God wants us to remember that because just like in the Holocaust, and I hate to say that word because it sounds so depressing, just like the freedom of the Holocaust. How about that? The freedom of the Holocaust with all the killing and the murdering and the execution, just like in Egypt, the murdering, the killing, the execution. God freed his people. Just like in the Holocaust. Freedom. Freedom. All those people were against the Jews. You freedom. All those people at work are against you, and you walk out untouched. Think about that. I watched here. I'm going to back up because I just want to show everyone an example of something. I know someone dear to me who was getting ready to go to court or to trial for a criminal charge that the person didn't do. And many times the evidence should have been dismissed, but some way, somehow, the prosecuting team was able to manipulate the judge. I'm going to say that true because I know for a fact, because I saw all the evidence and I already know the case later on, he was found not guilty, but I'm going to get to that. The person prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed to God every day. He kept saying, I'm innocent. He kept saying, I didn't do it. He kept saying, I'm innocent. But couldn't, it was a wreck. The DA ended up getting caught doing something illegal. Therefore, the case had to get retried or something like that. Basically, long story short, a new DA came, found that there wasn't enough evidence, the person went free. Because there actually wasn't a crime anyway, because the person didn't do it. Praying to God, and the person and that those people who were going to convict an innocent person actually got in trouble. Isn't that amazing? Now, see, I hear so many other stories, illnesses and sicknesses, but you know what? People's lives are at jeopardy when they go to prison or when they go to jail or when they get convicted of something or not convicted of something. They're human beings too. Sometimes we forget that. So remember this, as a parent, your child is your child. I'm going to let that sink in for a second. I'm going to say it again. Your child is your child. Good, bad, or indifferent. That's the difference between MouthPage and everyone else. We keep it real. There you go. All right, amen. What time is it? All right, I got one last one. Psalm 138, number 7, and through 138:7. Though I walk in the midst of trouble, you preserve my life. You stretch your hand against the anger of my foes. With your right hand, you save me. Remember this: when you turn to God, God is everything else. You could have been a real bad son of a you-know-what in your life. You could have made a lot of mistakes in your life. When you turn to God and you work with God, and it could be years, by the way. The relationship with God could take years if you were a very evil person. You get to know God, you get to walk with God, you get to talk with God. Now all of a sudden, you are now part of God's family. God will protect you. When you ask God for God's help, God is going to be there to save you. That's how it works. That's how God protects you from your enemies. Your enemies are what evil wants it to be. Anything, anywhere, anything that evil can get its hands on. Evil can work very, very, very fast. I watch so many other spiritual leaders, and I appreciate the love that they provide. I do. With love. We got to encourage more love. But let's not forget the evil that is lurking. If we are not prepared for it, just like in Ecclesiastes, there's a time for love. There's a time for war. There's a time for peace. There's a time for war. There's a time for love, and there's a time for not love. Because I don't want to, get into that. But seriously, there is a time where you have to stand up and fight for yourself. Go through God. Don't give up. All right, I'm ranting and raving. Let's kick it down. Let's get ready to wrap it up. I love you all so much. Thanks for checking us out, watching, being the first part of us, best part of us. I love you all so much. Before we end tonight's motivation, I'd like to close with prayers and birthday wishes. Man, there are a lot of healing prayers. So, tomorrow, pray for Lolly and her up-and-coming procedure. Pray for Liza's sister-in-law who broke her arm riding her bike and needs quick healing. Pray for her. Pray for Lauren. Pray for Scott. Pray for Elsie. Pray for Arthur. Pray for Mary. Pray for Virginia. Pray for Jim. Pray for Tony. Pray for Misty. Pray for Rudy. Pray for Linda. Pray for Suzanne, Vicky, Yusuf, Art, Edwina, Caleb, Lozano, Elizabeth, Lizzie, Yair, Juanita, Andrea, Alfonso, Andrea, Alberto, Adam, Amy, Johnny, Jesus, Lori, Larry, Laura, Antonia, Antoinette, Pete, Pablo, Rula, Samir, Joy, Marlo, Marnie, Marty, Eric, Brian, Bill, Jaime, Donnie, Renee, and Louie. How good and pleasant is it for brothers and sisters to dwell together in unity. Psalm 133. Oh, I forgot birthday wishes. Oh, so sorry. Happy birthday to Jennifer, to Pablo, to Suzanne, and to Buffy. Yamle Itzamak. Thank you all for being the best part of Mouth Page and for watching us every night. I love you all so much. Check us out every Monday through Thursday, live on Facebook at 7 o'clock-ish Pacific Daylight Time. And for Friday night, our Shabbat service at 6 o'clock p.m.-ish Pacific Daylight Time. I love you all so much. Help others to be nice. God bless. Lila Tova. I'll see you all tomorrow. Amen. Have a wonderful night. Mwah.